In this video, I'm taking you to Tehran, the heart of the war where daily bombings target political leaders, government officials, and civilian infrastructure. During our stay, we visited the sites of multiple attacks, including this sports complex where I recorded a selfie video that ended up going viral. We also saw damaged hospitals, cultural heritage sites, and even the headquarters of the Red Crescent. And of course, we attended another war rally. In episode 1, I spent the first few minutes educating you about the Azerbaijani region, about the city of Tabriz, the Painted Mountains, and the demographics of this area. And I did that intentionally because if you are going to understand this war, you need to understand Iran as a country. Iran is massive, it's diverse, and because of its isolation, almost North Korea-like, there is an enormous amount of confusion and misunderstanding surrounding it. Judging by your comments, a lot of you appreciated this context. So in every episode of this journey, I'm going to take the time to teach you about these cities I visit so you can actually understand what you're looking at. However, if you want to skip those sections, I've added chapters in the video so you can jump ahead. After wrapping up our work in Tabriz, the team and I took a late night bus to Tehran. By car, the trip would have been about 6 or 7 hours, but on a bus, moving slower and stopping at rest areas, it stretched into a 10-hour journey. Our driver was Azeri, and he was very proud of it. He loved the fact that he was driving foreigners, especially from the West, so he made it a point to stop at a rest area known for a traditional Azeri dish. It was a very simple meal, eggs and potatoes mashed together with vegetables wrapped in a light bread. Nothing fancy, but it was good.
Yeralma, yumurta.
Potatoes and eggs mixed.
من فلفل برمام قوزه دبم خیار شده مهندسان چی سفارش در سفارش.
Now, I'm a simple eater back home in the US, but when I travel, I make it a point to try everything because food isn't just food, it's geography, it's history. When you eat what people eat, you are tasting the environment that they survived in, the resources they had, the culture they've built. So you're not just eating a meal, you are experiencing a piece of their world. While we waited for our food, I noticed a group of puppies huddled together trying to stay warm.
Trying to stay warm? You guys trying to stay warm?
Making a special meal for our freezing puppies outside. Okay. Yalla, come. What are you doing, Kumi? He's scared, I think. It came. 10 hours later, we arrived in Tehran. Tehran is the capital and largest city in Iran. It sits in the north-central part of the country, just south of the Caspian Sea, along the slopes of the Alborz Mountains, with the highest peak of Mount Damavand towering above it. Its location makes it one of the most important transportation hubs in the country, connecting Iran's north, south, east, and west through highways, railways, and air routes. And historically, Tehran sits along the old Silk Road. So it is a city shaped by trade, by movement, by strategy, and now by war. We arrived on the first day of Eid, which also happened to be the first day of Nowroz, so it was a double whammy. If you don't know, Nowroz is the celebration of the coming of spring, and it's celebrated by 300 million people worldwide, from Kurds to Azeris, Persians, Afghans, Pakistanis, Indians, and pretty much everyone influenced by Iranian or Persian culture throughout history. In Iran, Nowroz is celebrated for 16 days. So Eid and Nowroz combined led to Tehran being a ghost town in the morning of our arrival. I was in Tehran just a year ago, and the traffic was miserable. It's worse than LA. 15-minute drives are easily 2-hour journeys, so seeing it like this was eerie, especially given that the country is in the middle of a war. Our first stop in Tehran was Ark Square in Old Tehran, where the famous Grand Bazaar and Golestan Palace is located. This is normally a thriving and energetic environment, but it was a ghost town. Upon our arrival, the first thing we noticed was the massive destruction done to the judicial building. Whatever hit this building tore through at least 4 different floors and put the building completely out of service. But the damage, unfortunately, wasn't just done to this building. The shrapnel and shockwaves significantly damaged the Takhti Marmar marble throne room at Golestan Palace nearly 500 feet away. Golestan Palace is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the Takhti Marmar is an epic marble throne built in 1805 by Fateh Ali Shah of the Qajar dynasty. It consists of 65 marble stone pieces carved into a throne and includes shapes of men, women, fairies, and demons. This takht, or throne, was modeled after Solomon the Prophet's takht, who was the king of the Jews and was in possession of great power. Thus, as Fatih Ali Shah was compared to him for his wealth and power, this throne was named Solomon's Takht after the original throne of Solomon, which is said to have been carried in the sky and flown by genies and fairies and would land to the wish of Solomon. After the throne was put in the terrace was given the name Takht-i Marmar. The throne room includes Persian mirror art, which is a kind of Iranian interior decoration where artists assemble finely cut mirrors together in geometric shapes, calligraphic or foliage forms. The mirrors create a shining surface that reflects light and abstract patterns. Some of these mirrors are hundreds of years old. Unfortunately, because of the bombing of the Judiciary building a few hundred feet away, shrapnel pierced through the throne and destroyed much of the old glass and woodwork, and the shockwave knocked out the ceiling glass. It's unfortunately just one of many cultural heritage sites damaged during this war, as you will see throughout my trip. We were later joined by our host from the broadcasting company. This is Ilham. Fun fact about Ilham, she was anchoring a broadcast just minutes before swapping with this anchor woman right before Israel bombed the broadcasting site during the 12-day war. This right here is my handler, my government propagandist. She doesn't let me film anything without her permission, right? Ilham and the team handled our translations for us as we moved from site to site, city to city. They then took us to a boys and girls sports club in the heart of Tehran that the US completely leveled with 3 Tomahawk missiles. It was a massive facility, a wrestling gym, a turf football field, indoor courts for volleyball, judo, and other sports used by both boys and girls. And now it's gone. Here you can see the crater from where one of the missiles directly hit the gym. This is where I filmed that selfie video that went viral, sarcastically thanking Donald Trump for liberating Iranian children. I just want to thank President Donald Trump for liberating the people of Iran. Thank you. So kind of you. So generous of you. I mean, really, how selfless you are to spend 200+ billion on Israel and the Jewish supremacists. Thank you so much for liberating Iran. My goodness, look what you've done to the place. It's so much better already. How wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, President. We then interviewed a young boy who used to play here. Instead of playing soccer, he now spends his time trying to stay occupied between bombings.
Iranian teenager Hamid جان چند سالته؟
12.
I'm 12 years old. Hamid قبلا اومدی اینجا؟ I asked, have you ever been here before? He says yes. اینجا چیکار می‌کردی؟
اینجا فوتبال بازی می‌کردیم، سانسان فوتبال.
We were playing football here. چه ورزشی اینجا انجام می‌دادی؟ فوتبال. شما چی آقا پسر؟ اینجا نیومدی؟ خونتون همین اطراف حامد؟ He says that we are living somewhere near this location. ممنونم حامد جان. جوانان، نوجوانان کودکان تو این ورزشگاه میمونن فعالیت می‌کردن. Some thousands of people, young people were active coming here to do sport. Missiles, 3 missiles hit this location. اولی کجا بود؟ خانه کشتی اولی. The first one hit that wrestling complex. Second one hit this building, the headquarters of football for Southeastern Tehran. And the third one, سومی سالن چند منظور ورزشگاه پناهی. And the third one hit this building. Multifunctional building, sport building.
So this is the twisted metal of what he says is a leftover piece of the bomb. Is there anything else? Is there more? Just this? So this, I mean, this is really hard and heavy and sharp. Just imagine the missile completely intact, exploding, and this is what shreds your body. Like, this flies in a million different directions. It will go through your head, it will go through your organs, and just slice and dice you. It raises a simple question. Why target a place like this? Well, in my previous video, I explained how the US targeted waste management sites to disrupt garbage collection. This is because their goal is to disrupt daily life. They want to break society down. When trash builds up, frustration builds. And when you destroy a place like this where thousands of kids spend their time, you leave them with nothing to do. No outlet, no structure, so that when things get worse, the expectation is that it pushes these kids onto the streets where they engage in acts of vandalism. It's textbook destabilization. That evening, we attended one of the many rallies taking place across the city. Instead of organizing one central massive rally that blocks traffic and is difficult to get to, dozens of smaller ones are set up all over the city to make it easier for people to attend. So every night, men, women, and children gather at one of these many rallies. There are speeches, poetry, war songs, and free tea, snacks, and desserts. Some people walk, others drive around honking their horns in their cars. You'll also notice imagery across the city promoting the new supreme leader. In this image here, you see the first, the second, and now the third supreme leader, Mujtaba Khamenei. I conducted street interviews with some of the participants of this rally. This young woman here doesn't speak perfect English, but she speaks 5 different languages, including Farsi, Turkish, English, Kurdish, and even Italian. And this woman here is a mother of 2. She came with her husband to show support for the country. These are the women that Trump and Netanyahu supposedly want to liberate with their bombings.
Hey, I'm Erica from Tehran. I'm 70. No, I'm not 70. I'm 20.
What message do you have for Donald Trump?
I think this was the last gamble we done in his life, his political life, because he didn't know the Iranian, he didn't know Shia people, and he went through a war just to cover his extreme violence. And I believe it's the last of his political life.
America, look at us. Look how much are we? These are different. These people are not like you. We believe something. We believe to Allah. We came from Allah. We return to Him, and we don't afraid from you, your country, your stupid Bibi, Netanyahu. No, we don't afraid, and we will stand here by our leader, Sayyid Mujtaba Khamenei.
All the people of Iran support Iran, because even the people who are against the government they may have some problems, but when they see their country is getting bombed, they should be idiots to support the bomber. And definitely every single person in Iran is right now supporting Alban.
There are many Americans who are against Trump and against Netanyahu. What do you have to say to them?
We have to be together. Right now is the war from truth and false. We have to choose which side we want to be in. We have to be be together, and think together to how can we destroy America, and be easy. Iran, think about it, because Iran is leader of this war, and we will together, and we will be victorious.
I'm an Iranian woman, and I'm a mother. I come here with my child, my daughter, to say Israel never lose us, and Israel never catch Iran. I'm a powerful country in this world. I never allow to the foreign country to catch us. Okay.
Thank you very much.
The next day, we passed a street memorial where a woman was killed by shrapnel during one of the many rallies taking place in the country. She was there with her husband when a nearby building was bombed. The crowd defiantly turned toward the explosion and began chanting, "God is great." During this, her husband noticed something terrible. The back of his wife's head had been blown out by shrapnel. So she lay there in the street, bleeding to death. in his arms. This photo captures the moment her blood-stained flag was carried by supporters who continued the demonstration against the US and Israeli war of aggression. We continue driving through Tehran to our next destination, which I want to show you because we need to break the image that you've been given by Western media. In movies and TV, cities like this are always portrayed as dry, brown, underdeveloped hubs of extremism. That is not the reality, however. Iran is a developed country with beautiful cities. Tehran, especially, is a massive, modern metropolis with its own unique character. From almost anywhere in the city, you can see high-rises set against mountains. Tehran is just as beautiful as Istanbul, Paris, or any other European city. We finally arrived at Ghandi Hospital, one of the most important hospitals in the country. It was damaged when a US strike hit a media facility directly next to it. This hospital is one of few in Iran that provides IVF treatment. After the bombing, patients, including the little embryos from the IVF treatment, had to be evacuated to other hospitals, which of course puts pressure on an already strained medical system, as hospital after hospital is forced to serve patients from a broader area. We interviewed the president of this hospital, who told us it would be at least 6 months before they could reopen their facilities due to the sanctions preventing them from adequately replacing certain medical equipment.
The night of the incident, because we are near the one of the main television station in the Tehran, it's a channel 2 IRIB channel. That place been hit, and the wave of the incident, and also the debris and all of the area around it been damaged. And our hospital was one of the main places that got damaged because of the wave and also the debris of that building that came to our hospital.
So right now the hospital is completely closed?
Yes, it's been closed from that day. We had on the night of the attack, we have around 20 critical patients, 40 total patients. We hope, good thing that we can evacuate all of them with the help of the emergency personnel and also the ambulances of the government ambulance and also private ambulance.
Just one serious injury.
We had one of our personnel had injuries that went under the surgery in another hospital, and he luckily got discharged 2 days ago. Besides that, everybody has a small injuries, not something very serious. We had 2 very critical patients, one child that was in the NICU under the ventilator, and one adult that we carried on with the ventilator as well. That was the hard part about moving patients.
And what kind of patients do you generally take here?
Usually it's a general hospital. We have all kind of hospital. One of the things that the moving of patient was hard is the ICU patient and NICU patient. There are patients under critical care. So that was very hard part to move, but we have all kind of patients here. The damage was very huge for our hospital. The financial part and also the medical equipment that we lost was a lot. We had some of the important part in this hospital, but one of them was that we had a cell therapy clinic and cell therapy factory here. It is only 3 in the country, and that place totally damaged. That also we have we are very famous for the IVF. IVF is a part for infertility problems, and we had around maybe a couple thousand donors, and we have tanks that's full of the babies that we made for the future of the country and people. So we save them as well.
How long do you think? It seems as though they're trying to restore the hospital.
Yes.
It will become fully functional. How long do you think it will be out of operation?
To be honest with you, one of the problem right now is getting the medical devices, getting the people to come work because of the war situation right now, and also financial problem that is it's uncertain. But if we can work very well, we will open here in 3 to 6 months.
We later visited Saadabad complex in northern Tehran, another cultural site that houses several former royal palaces, including some belonging to the Shah. Millions visit this site every year. A nearby bunker buster strike shook the entire complex, lifting parts of the roof and sending debris into the air. This green palace here belonged to the Shah's father and is now a museum. The bombing severely damaged its intricate mirror work.
Look up, my friend. Good to see you.
After that, we visited a nearby apartment complex that had been completely destroyed in a bombing. 12 civilians were killed here. The entire area was wiped out, even the parking lot filled with burned and twisted cars. Standing there, I couldn't stop but think about what it must have been like. The concrete collapsing, the metal tearing through bodies, the terror of being trapped in the stairways or the elevators, waiting, hoping that someone would just come pull them out of what essentially becomes a concrete coffin. The people who do come are first responders from the Iranian Red Crescent Society, which is part of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement, funded by the Swiss humanitarian Henry Dunant in the 1880s to serve civilians and alleviate their suffering in response to war and natural disasters. We visited their headquarters in Tehran, where teams are on standby for the next rescue. These people are incredibly brave because both the US and Israel are engaging in what is known as a double tap strike. A double tap strike is a military tactic where an initial attack is followed by a second strike on the same target, which is aimed at maximizing casualties, including first responders. Many first responders, including civilians, have been killed in the process of trying to rescue people who were just bombed. We spoke with their deputy leader, who informed us of some of their operations.
My name is Razieh
Ali Shavandi.
Ali Shavandi. I'm the deputy for Iran's Red Crescent Society, and I'm in charge of pursuing international issues and humanitarian issues of this Red Crescent Society of Iran. Over 18,000 civilian injured.
تعداد شهدای کمتر از 18 سال 208 نفر.
The number of the number of people killed that they are under the age of 18, it is 208. 208 people, they are younger than 18, they were killed.
تعداد شهدای کمتر از 18 سال 1430 نفر بوده.
And the number of martyrs younger than 18, it is 1,430.
Now that it's abundantly clear that the US and Israel have completely failed to topple the government, defeat the military, or cripple its missile cities, it should be obvious that their strategy has been to disrupt and destroy civilian society as a whole. Over 100,000 sites have been damaged or destroyed, from pharmacies, parks, universities, waste management facilities, sports complexes, and even headquarters belonging to the Red Crescent. The goal is obviously to set the country back. If the people break, they'll turn on their government. If they don't, the country's still weakened. Either way, from their perspective, it's a win. Personally, I don't think they can flip the government. Even Trump's recent rhetoric suggests that he's backed off that idea. So the real question becomes, is destroying civilian infrastructure worth the consequences? Like disrupting the global energy markets, closing the Strait of Hormuz, threatening the petrodollar, dragging the Gulf states into retaliations that could potentially wipe out their economies. In my view, as long as Iran maintains its sovereignty and military capability, the rest can be rebuilt. Factories can be rebuilt. Cities can be rebuilt. That takes years, but regaining your sovereignty takes decades, sometimes centuries. And sovereignty comes from your ability to defend yourself and stand on your own 2 feet. As you will continue to see in my next few episodes, the people of Iran are dedicated to their nation and their sovereignty. They will not back down so easily and will fight for their nation's sovereignty. In my next video, I'll take you to Isfahan, the historical capital of Iran, the 3rd most populated city in the country, and the site of very heavy bombardment. It was here in this city where I witnessed my very first bombing. Now, I've been traveling non-stop with limited internet, so I appreciate your patience with these uploads. Now that I've settled, however, I will be releasing content more more consistently. I do want to let you guys know, however, that if you are interested in hearing these interviews in their entirety and in more detail, you can do so by visiting Reason to Resist by journalist Dimitri Lascaris, who accompanied me on this journey through Iran. If you'd like to support my work, you can become a channel member, or you can make a contribution at propandco.com/donate. Of course, I'd like you to let me know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care of yourselves.
Trust nothing.